friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to style Anna's hair from Frozen 2. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button as it helps me make more content for you guys. Now, I started with an Arda base. This is the style Eowyn in the color dark copper red. I sectioned out the bangs and sectioned off a bit of the hair by the temples to cover any sideburns you may have. Then I took a small bit from behind the bangs and began twisting that down the temple until I secured it in place with an elastic. Then I took that hair again and sectioned it into 3 pieces, twisting it into a tight braid. Once I got to the bottom, I left about 5 inches loose and tied it with a clear elastic. Then I repeated it on the opposite side, once again securing it with a clear elastic at the temple and twisting the rest into a braid. Then I pinned the braid in place where I wanted it to lay on the head and brought both braids to the back of the head and twisted them together. To do this, I split the braid on one side to fish the other braid through it. Now on the opposite side, you're going to have to fish the hair through twice so that the loose ends end up on the bottom of the braid. But once you have that, use a hairpin to secure both sides down together. Now it's time to cut the sideburns. I started at about the bottom of my ear and cut downward in a sharp angle to create some layers. Then I also chopped the bangs because I knew they would be a bit too long. When you're cutting wigs, you want to cut at an angle so that you get a more natural cut instead of a blunt cut. Wait a second. What are those? Yeah, don't be adult like me and use your fabric scissors. This is probably why they're blunt. Anyways, repeat cutting the sideburn pieces on the opposite side, making sure that they are the same length at the beginning of the cut and the end of the cut. Now on the thicker part of her bangs, I sectioned it into 2 pieces and began trimming. You want to do it this way because it gets very difficult to cut large sections at once. If you've never cut bangs into wigs before, you'll want to start by cutting less than you think you need and trying it on until you have about your desired length. But remember, when we curl these, they're going to get even shorter, so you're going to want them 1 to 2 inches longer than your actual forehead length. Now, when you go to cut the second section, you're going to want to pull over a piece of the last section that we cut. That way you have a guide as to where you need to start trimming. This way it's all even. Once you have trimmed your bangs, you're going to want to take a large curling iron, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches wide, and begin curling the hair, starting with the temples. Remember, the most important part of curling is the cooling process after you've heated it up. So, set your iron to the appropriate setting for your heat-safe wig, get the strand nice and hot, and then curl it around your fingers and let it cool in place. Once it is cool to the touch, then you can drop the curl and brush it out. From there, we move on to curling the bangs. I took 3 medium-size Velcro curlers and placed the hair in them, securing the ends down with a couple of alligator clips. It's important that you get the bangs smooth over the curlers and make sure all the ends are tucked away under the clips. Otherwise, they may get some crinks and crinkles in them when you steam them. I used 2 curlers for the thicker side of her bangs and 1 curler for the smaller section of her bangs. When I positioned the hair on the curlers, I made sure to lay it so that the hair swept away from the face. If you just sweep the hair over the curlers straight down, then they'll become more of a straight across bang. But if you sweep the hair over and away from the face on the curler, then they'll stay as such when you steam them. Once the hair was laid over every curler, I used some long floral pins to hold them in place. Then I took my steamer out and gave them a real good steam bath. Make sure to get all those ends really well, and if you need to reposition the alligator clips to tuck any loose ends in, feel free to do so. I also gave the braid a bit of a steam too, to make sure it really stayed in place. While the hair cooled from the steam, I took my large curling iron again and curled the rest of her hair, making sure to let them cool in place by clipping them up with an alligator clip. Anna's hair is very loose in the movie, so you don't want to have too tight of ringlets, which is why the larger barrel curler will be perfect for this. Once the bangs are cool, feel free to take them out of the curler. Then I went in with some Got2b Glued hairspray and sprayed the roots of the bangs and teased them really well. This will help the style last throughout the wear. Make sure you tease more than you think that you need because you'll be smoothing out a lot of it. From there, I took my pick and started smoothing and sculpting the bangs in the direction that I wanted them to go. If you find you have any loose spots or holes in the bangs, do some more teasing and smooth it out till they're fixed. Then give everything a light blast of Got2b Glued hairspray and smooth it out with your hand to tame any flyaways. And you're done! I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, make sure to share it with your friends and hit that subscribe button as it helps me make more content for you guys. And remember, cosplay is all about having fun. Samantha! Samantha? Samantha! Don't hear it. I don't get it.